Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to SpeedForce Racing. My name is JB, and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings here in the Premier Division around Bahrain. But first, let's have a look at the standings because they are how they finished in Australia last week, and that is Lickle in P1 ahead of Dobby in P2, James Braden in P3. Medium Pilot is in P4, and Nikos is in P5. Samu is in P6. Maxilius is in P7. Walters is in P8 and Virus is in P9. Jesse Tony is in P10. Outside of the points and drivers that did not finish the race, outside of the points, drivers finished in same order is Stam in P11, Reflow in P12, Bugatti, who is now can't remember who Bugatti's name is. Alfie, that's it. Bugatti, who changed his name to Alfie, is now in P13, and Abraham is in P14. Perez is in P16. P15 and Fotio is in P16. Get on to him in a minute. David is in P17, and Raikkonen is in P18. Abiodin is in P19, and Glock is in P20. But let's have a look at the Constructors' Championship because, as you expect, Renault is in P1 ahead of Alfa Romeo in P2, Ferrari in P3, and Williams is in P4, McLaren P5. Red Bull is in P6, Mercedes is in P7, Haas is all the way down in P8, Racing Point in P9, Toro Rosso down in P10 after not scoring a point. So, let me just, before we get into all the big news from SFR, let's have a look at who I got on commentary with me. He's been with me now for God knows how many times. He's starting to get sick of me. He was here last night, and we love him so much. It's Alex. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm very good. No, man, I'm never going to get sick of you, man. You're a great comms, and I enjoy having some banter with you. Disappointed there by the Toro Rosso boys. It seems that GP3 and GP2 are carrying their weight at the minute. Disappointed.
He's only disappointed because he's part of Toro Rosso. Just to clarify, he's only part of Toro Rosso on the thing.
Yes. But just to clarify, as you said, big news. Can we kind of share the news around because you've given me some news? I want to feel part of the big announcement. So I'm going to start here with the fact that actually I'm going to let you start, so because I don't know what I was specifically allowed to say.
Well, as obviously an admin over here, I do know what we're about to say. What we are at liberty to say is actually the Formula 1 2019 game was confirmed to be releasing in June. So big cheer for me and Alex because it's around our birthday, so that's a present sorted. Unfortunately, though, that means
absolutely not.
Really?
Absolutely no. My family don't believe in birthday presents, unfortunately.
Oh, well, I'll get you one anyway. But that unfortunately means that this game cycle. Oh, let me go through the list. I have to go through the list first.
Hang on. JB, I don't want what you got me last time. Okay, that was inappropriate. I felt not last birthday, but for some random gift you got me, I felt inappropriate. That
was an official Racing Point piece of memorabilia. It's not my fault that it was Sergio Perez's jockstrap.
But I don't like Lance Stroll, so you
it was Perez's jockstrap. Anyway, back onto the news, or I'm going to mute him again in a minute. I do that a lot. The news is that unfortunately this game is coming to the end of its cycle on its life cycle, which means that as the admins, we are currently trying to work out solutions for that. We can either continue on in this game and then everyone jumps from 2019 to 2018. Not a big fan of that personally. So what we have agreed is that this game will now deal with a shortened career in season 4. That's just because of the release date of 2019. I will repeat this every start of every stream to adhere why we're on such a low number. Much like in season 3 for the Premier drivers. Unfortunately, it's the best thing we can do, and then we'll start season 5 with the 2019 game and have some great fun on that one.
Right, I just want to say as well, I believe that to all the drivers that are worried, like, oh no, I'm practicing China, I believe that China is staying as follows, and then from there we might be changing up the grid, next we might be sticking with the regular grid. That's all in discussion at the minute. Again, sorry if I broke any unbarren things that I wasn't meant to say there, but there are discussions going on right now to see what we're going to do, whether we're going to mix up the calendar or keep it as follows, but I really hope we get a bit of a mix in there, because personally I want to go to Singapore, and I don't think that's in the first 13.
Will have a chat. The admins are currently having a chat with the race directors of the league to make sure everything's all right.
I didn't say anything I wasn't meant to there, did I?
No, you're fine. I think China's going to come next because of everyone being doing practice for China, so I think that's what we're going to do. But I'll
go to the office and I'll sue.
In slightly unhappy news is that I have to announce that Fotio was handed a race ban and a qualifying ban for next week. The race ban being served this week because of Lude, I think that's your name. Don't buy 2018 because in a few months 2019 is coming out. Do not buy 2018 now because we will not be racing on it soon. But yes,
unless it's worth £2, and then go
I
ahead.
wouldn't buy it then either. But no, so Fotio was handed a qualifying ban, but a race ban to be served here at Bahrain due to the contact with Ryan. So I was very upset with that, and Twan spotted it, luckily, and then we saw the footage, but it did seem like a takeout. Now, the reason we have given him that was mainly because Fotio didn't provide footage. We urge all drivers to record the footage so they have a response if they don't believe they've done anything wrong. But that also leads into the fact that drivers are not allowed to cut corners in qualifying to get back to the pit lane quicker because it is against the rules. And we spotted Jesse Tony doing that. He has been told before about it, so he has also been handed a qualifying ban for tonight. Now, to stop being mean, hopefully he doesn't come out on track because then I will be mean. But still, do you agree with those penalties, Alex? I mean, it's only fairness, isn't there?
Yeah, you know that when rules are set into place, no matter whether you agree with those rules. Thanks for cutting me off there, mate. I know. Okay. But no, as I was going to say, as when, you know, even if you don't agree with the rules are set in place, you have to follow them. I get as a driver, sometimes that can be aggravating, but that doesn't make a difference. You've got to follow the rules that are set in place here. Otherwise, you know, even though we like to joke, rules here aren't made to be broken, they're made for the fairness of the racing. And I think that's what most drivers are going to see. But to be fair, Fotio, no offense to the guy, that's not making his team look good. Getting taken out of getting a race ban after just one Grand Prix of the season.
It really isn't. But off that subject, Jesse has come out on track. I assume that's just for an installation lap, as there was a lot of noise coming out of Alex's microphone there. I assume that's just for an installation lap. I really do hope that is. If it is not, and he does set a lap time, his qualifying ban will also transition over to China. So yes, dry quality and dry race. Yes. I do urge everyone now, from this point on, do not look at it. You will keep your points from Australia. If the shortened calendar will keep all the points from where it currently is on the calendar. So it will be shortened with the current setup. So all the points will be fine. This is a very unnatural situation that SFR has been put into, as Refo crashing is out of qualifying already with the auto spin curve on his outlap. Easily done, but that's going to really hurt Refo's chances tonight.
As a friend, I'd like to reflow. Sorry about my phone, by the way. I got a call from Toro Rosso team boss. So that was France tossed. And he was telling me the reason that he picked God Collins to come up tonight and race in the Toro Rosso. So I've got a huge scoop there. But yeah, Reflow been in it. You know, it's not a surprise. He's Welsh. No offense to me, Welsh people. Oh. I feel horrible. He won't be watching this. It's fine. No, I mean I want to live in Wales, so yeah. But no, I mean again disappointment. But to be fair, that's one of the rare ones. We didn't see a victim of the auto spin curve last night, did we? I don't think we saw one.
I don't believe we did.
Oh, we did. We did in qualifying. Mike Bundy and Williams of somebody.
Well, just on a quick note, but yes, everything will happen now. I do urge anyone who is wanting to get into the Formula 1 games, wait for the new game to come out. You can buy this game if you want to get practice, but the new game may be completely different, as we found out at the start of this game.
Or buy a PSP or a Nintendo Wii and play F1 2009, which is the pinnacle
don't do that.
of F1 games. It's the best. Or buy F1 Race Stars, whatever it's called. That is actually a fun game. So do I. Well, it's going to see where Jesse Tony sets a lap here. If he does complete a lap, would that be a race ban?
That will be a further qualifying ban for next week. If he has been told, I know he has been told. But off the subject that quickly, F1 2018 is good with controllers, yes, once you get round all of the certain niggles with the game. But as we learned at the end of 2017, when the 2018 game was released, there is a big change between the game. This time. Now, I'd like to think that they've kept us. Alfie's actually the first person to set a lap time. Do apologise, I'm just trying to work out. And Jesse Tony has set a lap time after being reminded of having a qualifying ban. That is poor racemanship from him, and I'm actually quite disappointed in him. But then again, he's driving a Haas, so why wouldn't he be surprised? Why wouldn't he be surprised?
You're a Haas driver, medium pilot though, smashes this time. Oh yeah, it was. Yes, I actually bribed Gunter Steiner again to completely boot. It only took £7.50 of my hard-earned cash to convince Gunter to boot him. Dobby with a great lap on the. I thought it was on the mediums. It's still a good lap. Don't get me wrong. I can put a 125.9 together on the supers, but still, Yarm, who would have won yesterday, he didn't because of a puncture. Can he put some points on the board for Ferrari? But yeah, as we're saying, man, we have two of the we have one of our podium people in today's session from last night. God Collars. What can he do against some of the top boys?
It will be interesting, filling the grid. We also have a new reserve driver tonight, Orchard Socks, a name who I haven't seen since I did commentary for another league. He has returned. I nicknamed him Brendan Lee because he always used Brendan Lee as his avatar. But yes, F1 for the Iron Team will be expensive. Yeah, you can. Yeah. Let's add into the game. So there'll be two Brendan Lees this time.
Can I be Jolyon Palmer? Surely he's an esports person now.
No,
surely they can use his likeness. He's no longer a driver who's too bad.
No, but he's a pundit. He works for the BBC, so he's under license from the BBC. They can't just pick a favourite.
Wait, what does he do? What does he do?
He does commentary for the Formula One on 5 Live. Other radio stations are available.
Oh wait, he just commentaries on the radio for BBC.
Yes. Other radio stations are available. Other radio stations are available, and that's it. Yes, it will be expensive, but we will not be racing immediately on it. We will have a grace period of pre-season testing on that game to find out who's in the best cars and all that. And yeah, hopefully the game will work correctly. Yeah, we have to make sure the game's right due to the fact that this game came out with a lot of glitches when it first came out. Do you recall that, Alex?
No, because I didn't race on here properly until like the beginning of the year. No, I don't really care for glitches. I kind of laugh at them and forget about them because I'm not. No offense, JB, but I'm not. As you know, I'm not the most serious driver of them all, as it were. But you know, but you know, obviously, I really hope that Cody's. Obviously, they've been working with Ross Brawn and someone else, so it's really got me excited.
They've also more publicly started working with another company. They've openly mentioned somebody.
Sorry, mate. I just want to let you know that Reflow or Luke had been watching the stream, and has just said he called me a cheeky, and then I'll beep it for my language about the Welsh. So he is watching the stream.
Never attack the Welsh; they're violent. Now just watching Glock on stream, coming up to the end of the pit lane, to the end of the start-finish straight. DRS opened. Now obviously I haven't driven a Formula 1 car in a while. He goes up to P6. So this track, you being driving it on Tuesday night, how was it in this track? Was it a comfortable track? Did you feel that you could have gone quicker with it?
Well, I had to compromise my setup, didn't I, JB? I was telling this in the podium interviews because yes, I got on the podium. I'm waiting for the applause now. But yeah, I had to compromise my setup for it to be comfortable, to not spin on the auto spin curb. 7.2 wings. A lot of drivers went for a bit more of an audacious setup. They went for a 1.8 wings and 9 ballast. I went for 8 ballast. I came about comfortable. I'm scoring like P4s and P3s rather than going for the win and binning it. That's just my personal opinion. But Jesse Tony, he's out and out lap again. I don't really get it. I'll be frank.
He really should not be out on track at all at this point in time. He's off very wide somewhere, getting out the way of it, but he should not be out on track. He was awarded a qualifying ban, and this is just going against him as a driver. It's really not good to have a driver completely ignore the rules as he is. So we'll try not to dwell on him. We will have to mention him obviously when we're running through the grid, but yeah. My face, although you can't see it, not impressed right now.
Tell you what though, mate, got to give it to Dobby. 5 tenths up right now. He's looking pretty comfortable on the super soft tyres.
He is looking very confident on the super softs. We saw a range of strategies last night, and the one that came out of it was actually was it the softs to the mediums? Oh no, it was a 2-stop, wasn't it? That came out on top.
It was a 2-stop.
Super soft to softs to soft.
Even because what a driver that's here today, where is he? Yarm tried to do was, I believe it was supers to mediums to supers again. That didn't work. So I think it have to be, if you're gonna do you can't do a 1-stop supers to mediums. So that's what I did and got the second out of it. But
He's really
just
banking
to...
on the fact that everyone gives him applause for the second place.
No,
I was just sitting there and go, well done, as Arthur. Sorry, Alfie gets it all wrong, hitting the gravel on the start finish.
Who's
on the back
Alfie?
straight. Alfie.
Who's Alfie?
ILRT Alfie, who is Bugatti under a different name. We went through this. No, we didn't go through it because you weren't here last week. Sorry.
No, I thought you were pretending to celebrate my second spot, and then you were like, Alfie. I was like, my name is Alfie.
Shall I do it again? Do you want me to do it again for you?
Yeah, because that was really weird. I was like, you just forgot my name. Was this just some kind of prank?
So yes, well done to Alex for getting second place because he has to mention it everywhere. You know, if I were to reference it, I got third place on my debut in this league. So you know,
nobody cares, you dinosaur. I mean, that's
To be fair,
I love that after a dinosaur as well.
Commentary right now.
I just realised I'm named after a dinosaur as well, so it's not really an insult.
Yeah, you
I'm insulting myself for the same. So, yeah, but at least I'm the most well-known and best dinosaur. You're just kind of like.
You're Barney.
You're a brachiosaur.
You're Barney.
I'm not Barney.
No, Barney. Barney the dinosaur.
Oh, I thought you said you're. I thought
Shall we pin this and try and go back to actually being professional for a second?
No, wait. I thought you asked about sexuality for a second. I was like, why is that?
We do not, here at SpeedForce Racing, we do not discriminate against sexuality. Right now, Alex is just very, very drunk.
Oh, no. Well, I wasn't being discriminatory at all. I was just questioning why you're asking. Oh, I love doing this with you, man. It's so good.
Let's go back to 2019, folks, because we need that game soon.
Dobby goes even faster. What a time!
Yes, Dobby is actually meant to be in the McLaren, I believe. Let me have a look at my list, because he's meant to be in the McLaren, from what I know.
Well, he's not.
Yeah, currently driving the Alfa Romeo instead. Let me just check the list.
Is this a sabotage? Is this Alfa Romeo pipped into the point?
No, I do apologise. He is meant to be in that. It's Medium Pilot and Ibrahim that's meant to be in the McLaren. I'm having a ball. He was in the McLaren last season. That's why.
Also, gotta like Kimi Räikkönen. We've talked to him before. He's in P3 right now. Come on, boy, score some points in Toro. So that's the end of my fanboy. But right now, I'm following Nikos, who we know is very quick. He won last season here in the Premier Division, and he's currently on an outlap waiting.
He didn't just win last season. He is the Premier Division champion. From last
That's
season.
what I meant. He won last season, but to be fair, that's a really good time from Samuel on the softs. Very strong.
It truly is. Nikos back in the pit lane. So is that him scrubbing his
tyres? Here comes Kimi.
1/10 up on his time, down on his time, closing in on Nikos.
Any improvement isn't a good one, you know, because around here it's very difficult to improve as well, JB, I find.
It most definitely is. This is obviously the first track we've come to that can actually overtake better at Australia. Though it's a good track, is not the best track for a season opener, in my opinion. I believe they should always start here at Bahrain.
We need to go Brands Hatch every time.
The Brands Hatch isn't wide enough to it. In full fairness, and you're serious, it really is not wide enough for the Grand Prix cars.
Exactly. That was me joking about overtakes.
Every car will just be a moving chicane, and even then it would be mental. No, I think every race should start at Monaco. Every season will start at Monaco and should end at Austria. So they go from...
Austria's great for overtaking, mate. What do you mean?
I think they should end at Austria because... No, I think Austria's a great track. I do love Austria. That's where I got my first podium.
Austria's one of my favourite... Austria's my second favourite, so we better have that. We better have China and Austria.
Now, what they should do...
50 points guaranteed.
They should start at Silverstone.
Jesse, tell me that again, the super softs here. I'm really worried about this, mate. This should not be happening.
It's not. The Haas team clearly not receiving the call that he has got the qualifying ban. He was informed. I know he was informed because I asked one of the admins to inform him before the start of the race that he had a qualifying ban. Clearly, he didn't look at his message.
Also, I just want to know if SFR gets copyrighted because of my ringtone. I'm sorry.
I really hope it doesn't, because I think we're on a pretty high strikes that way. But anyway, this is it could also just be Jesse Tony just saying that he doesn't care about the rules, and if he doesn't care about the rules, he comes out one more time in his qualifying session. He goes back into the pits and comes out one more time. There will be a more severe penalty, I believe, in the banks, and that's just me saying that because I'm feeling very mean today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, Jesse is supposed to have a qualifying ban, but he's been setting laps all night because, you know, why would the rules mean anything to him?
I'm really offended that you didn't actually pick up on what my ringtone was, JB.
I did pick
I'm
up on it,
actually
and I can't mention it because you sang it last night.
no, that wasn't it. I didn't sing it last
Was it
night.
not? What was it?
It was the Doctor Who theme. I didn't sing Doctor Who.
Oh, did you? To be fair, it sounded like a load of noise from. It sounded like an F1 car
It was-
powering up. To be honest.
Do you remember? Do you remember the Peter Capaldi episode Under the Lake? No, before the flood. It was the one. It was the one after the one in the underground water-based thing with the water ghosts and all that. It was the one where there was that blind lady. Yeah. Do you remember the rock theme in that? The one from the second episode.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Well, it seems he forgot
Because-
Ollie. Yes, it does seem he forgot, but at the same time, he was reminded several times. So it's all on,
Maybe
it's
he
all on
didn't
him.
forget. I'm interested to see if Gold Colours actually comes out for a run here. Is he just knowing that he might not be on the pace? He's just
Whoa!
waiting.
Big mistake from Stam going wide in the autospin corner, trying to keep his finger in too far. Sorry, his hand on the throttle too much.
I'm really upset for Reflow, you know. He's better than this. A DNF last week, and
Well,
also
I think Reflow's got to adjust to the Red Bull firstly. Okay, come on.
what?
He just cut a corner to get back to the pits quicker. I've had enough.
Who did? Who
Jesse
did?
Tony. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of it. I really have.
Which corner
Drivers
did he cut?
are constantly. He's cutting corners all over the place. Watch. If you go on board with him now, I guarantee he'll cut this corner.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
come on! I don't care what league race you're in. I don't care where you race. You do not cut corners and speed into the pit lane like this. I'm in two minds whether to open the mic down and ask him to leave the session. I am in two minds, and I don't mean to be angry right now, because I really am.
I mean,
It's
if
just
you
a
wanna
slap
do
in the
it,
face
if
to the
you-
admins.
if you want to do it, go ahead, man.
It is a massive
I think
slap in the
that's-
face. I will
I
wait for
think
any
I-
confirmation from the race director first. But it's just a
I mean,
horrible slap in the face.
this-
Yes, okay,
this
I'll be giving
counts,
you
this
confirmation. Give me a moment. Now, the stream will hear exactly what I say.
I'll mute my mic though.
That's the wrong button. Do excuse me, I made the party public. Okay, let me just handle this quickly. Jesse Tony, for repeatedly disobeying the race director and coming out during qualifying ban and cutting the corners, you will be asked to leave this session now. So please leave the session. So, as confirmed, I've just said to Jesse that he has been removed. He is to be removed from the session. If he does not leave his session, then I'm not sure what happened. I don't mean to be angry, but I've had enough. I really have, and that doesn't mean, but I have, as mean as it sounds, I've had enough of. It's just a blatant slap in the face to the admins that he is not behaving under the rules of it by cutting the corners on purpose. Those were blatant corner cuts. I'd had enough of it. I used I exercised my right. I'd had enough. And
He stopped the car. I don't know what's going on. He's just bumping the car now. I think
yeah,
he's just taking the mick.
I'm going to swear now. I do apologise to anyone, but he is taking the piss right now. And I've absolutely had enough.
He's having donuts. This is going to
Yeah,
distract races. Do we restart the session and?
Well, with the
we'll
last
invite
part
him?
of it, we have a note. What an idiot! Yes, okay, right. Let me just go on to race driver. Give me a moment. All drivers, message from the admins. I do apologise for Jesse Tony and his appalling driving tonight. This is to all drivers, and once again, the admins all apologise for this. I hope that you can all forgive us for this. Right, I'm back in the comms box. I just left a note to the drivers. I sort of like doing that with the fact that it's like how the Formula E do it, where the race director is able to discuss everything with the drivers straight away. But I have left a message with the drivers saying that I apologise for his acting.
I think this is a good point here from Luke, who is reflow. He said that mates Jesse's going to ruin someone's race. I think that's particularly right. If I'm not a steward here, but I would say restart the session. Don't invite him, just for driver safety, because he might ruin the race here today. Based on what he was doing donuts. He was smashing that bike. I think he might. I would restart. Like, no offense to Jesse before he gets stabbed with throat if he is listening to this. But you cannot do that. As a driver, you have to have the utmost respect for even if it doesn't go your way in the decision like it did last week, you still have to respect, the stewards and their decisions, even if sometimes, they're not in your favour.
It definitely will do. There is a risk, and the driver's obviously putting out that they're not happy with the possibility of him driving. The admins are currently in talk right now. Dobby has gone faster in the session. Nikos he's made a mistake, and he will not finish on the top in this lap. Raikkonen in P3, Samu coming through the final corner now. We can only see what happens. Samu lifting off, so Samu is here, and we are currently waiting. Jesse Tony, hot news, has been blacklisted from SFR due to that blatant disregard for the rules. He has been removed. So that is the choice.
Has he been removed from the session though? Or restarting? Because I think he's still in, mate. It's a good. Yeah. But we need to get him out.
I'm currently talking now. As a race director, I'm going to just quickly deal with it quick. I think we are going to restart as quickly as can. The call has been made. Let me just make it to the driver as well. All drivers, we are going to restart the session so that Jesse Tony has been removed. He has been blacklisted from the league. I do apologise once more for the inconvenience. So, do apologise because you off there, Alex. But yes, I've just had to quickly tell everyone that we are leaving.
Yes, it's absolutely disgraceful, mate. Commentators, we can't really say stuff. But I'm disgusted, and I'm not going to fight you for. I'm going to just be honest. That is really riled me up as a fan of F1, and I think it's complete buffoonery. I think, to be honest, I don't want to berate a driver here, but this is all although it's a game, and yes, sometimes we take it all too seriously. People do put their time and effort into this, and you're going to screw it up because of your own selfish personal needs. I think it's disgusting.
It truly is, and the rules are there for a reason. We have rules in place to make the racing fair, and doing that in qualifying, he was told all the way through last season, he was told before, he had served the qualifying ban last season. I don't understand what has changed. He clearly didn't care. He has been removed. That is the last we mention it, and the cars will be on a custom grid now, so the drivers will be told to have a custom grid to all of it, so they will get in and it will be custom.
So does this mean that that means that people like Reflow, do they still start at the back, or is it going to be mixed?
It will be the entire qualifying grid barring Jesse Tony, so everyone behind Jesse Tony will move up.
So Dobby's time still remains. That's good. I haven't been invited yet. If you have, let me know.
No, we're just waiting for the invites now.
Sorry about this, guys. It happened again last night, not in the same vein, but you have to leave a session, do something, and I really hope that he's not effing and jeffing in the GP3 chat.
Do excuse me, I'm just having to type messages. I do apologise for if I'm quiet. So we're just waiting on the session invites. Okay, so we are just waiting on invites now from the race director, and then we will be able to get in.
Brilliant.
We do apologise for this. This is not normally how SFR is, but today it's just gone.
Not at all, which is why we made an example of him, not only on commentary, but we fully announced here that he has been blacklisted, and I think, that is, but no, it shouldn't really be a warning to drivers, because drivers shouldn't do it in the first place. But
sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you. Daniel, I'm Electro Dan, sorry, in chat, welcome to the chat. But it's not really a shame, because he broke the rules on the stream, and it was a blatant disregard for the admins. I do apologise if I'm offending anyone.
I don't think he means like that. I think he means because he knows he's a good driver. And it's just wasted potential, I think, is what he's going for.
If I hope that is the way. If anybody does invite him, and we do find out who is inviting him, they will suffer a penalty as well. We had a similar situation back in season 1, where someone actually, as the invites are away now, let me just get into session. Do apologise if it goes blue. What happened
names? Because I don't know this.
Actually, we can because it's backside a long time ago now. It was back in season 1. There was practice for the Italian Grand Prix, and that was down to that was me. 1 second. Sorry, I just had to tell the drivers do not ready up. But it was back in season 1, and it was actually myself. I was doing practice for the Italian Grand Prix in an official SFR practice session that we were running. Back then, we did that on a Monday night, and we don't do it anymore because we don't have the time. Any of the admins or the race directors don't have time. But what happened was someone invited their mate, which was perfectly fair in those practice sessions. We were fine with people adding those. Yeah, if you just message Lee, he should be able to get you in quickly, Ollie. But what happened was he invited his mate. Perfectly fair. We don't mind you inviting mates into practice sessions if they're SFR ones and we say yes. But he invited his mate in, and I was practicing for Italy round and round, just practicing. And I pulled into pit lane. And at the end of the session, he messaged me quite a horrible message saying that I am not very good at this game in very different words. And that name was Millionaire Boy. And I don't know even where he is. And I asked him why. And then someone added him into the chat. And then there was a load of things. And it turned out after about 3 months then of hunting down what had happened, it was another driver, a core driver that had come in earlier on in the season called Didasex that was inviting him because he was his friend. And he knew that the guy was ruining everything on purpose. So we had to... We've had it before. This is not new, but it's also very upsetting for SFR. And these drivers who have all had to prepare for this whole race have just had that qualifying session ripped away. So their tyre strategy might be different if they decide to change it.
Well, I mean, so the people that did the supers, at least they start on fresh supers, which make them a slight advantage.
We'll try and go on to something a little bit more happy in a minute because I'm not joking.
You're with me and JB. We'll make you happy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We will attempt to make you happy. Let's just change that quickly. No. What? I'm not gonna lie.
Don't think of it like that.
I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was seeing what he's doing, I was genuinely shaking with rage. And that shows I don't just take this seriously, not because it's like because I took it seriously because it's a race, it's Formula 1. No, I take it seriously because this is people's hobby. People spend hours practicing, and I still feel bad for the people that spend hours practicing and then get taken out on lap 1, for instance.
Yeah.
So I'm angry because it's made us look bad. I'm angry because it's made us look stupid, and it's just blatantly stupid that has happened. I've apologized to drivers, and I apologize to all of the people that are watching the stream, to the fans that will watch the stream in the future, that this has happened, because it's not right, is it? It really isn't, and this is just. I'm not going to try and dwell on it, but it was frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head for me. Sorry, that's me sending a message. I'll mute my stuff. I'm really bad with this, but yeah.
So 2 drivers already ready up, though they were told not to until we had to be given the call.
You're clear. Yeah. Yeah, 3 now. Reflow is one of them. Naughty boy, naughty boy. I'm ready. So that must have been Mr. Purge on the stream.
I do love that when people do that.
But yeah. I'm just angry. It's been a horrible day. Torrid day.
You know what? I was having a really good day as well before this. As normally during these sorts of red flag periods or reset periods, I normally talk about other. Oh yeah, that was for a different reason though. But I normally talk about random motorsport facts or random facts about myself. Now, as everyone knows, I'm a big Formula E fan. I'm just going to push Alex away a little bit because he doesn't like Formula E. No, I'm a big Formula E fan, and the big news today in Formula E was that Nelson Piquet Jr., the Season 1 champion of Formula E, was removed from Jaguar. This was apparently a mutual parting. I don't think so. I think it was more down to the fact that Jaguar weren't happy with the fact he wasn't scoring any points. He scored 1 point with 5 races in to this season, and his teammate scored 24. I mean, that just says it all. So
I don't know how the point system works in Formula E.
Top 10, exactly the same as F1, with the fastest lap point. and then 1 point for pole position.
So is it the same points kind of thing though? So is it 25 for a win?
Yep, exactly the same.
18. Is it run by the same people? I know it's gonna
Yeah.
sound really dumb.
It's run by the FIA. So it's
Okay, that
FIA.
makes...
It was ABB FIA Formula E, not 3 E. And that is, so they openly say it's the FIA. F1 is run by the FIA. Technically, this is the FIA for F1, but as F1 as a brand was made before the FIA truly stepped in, they kept it as not connected to it. You know, they have been given the call.
Is that why people like Massa and Stoffel kind of found jobs linked? Because
it was more down to, firstly, they've been given the call to ready up, and we will be going straight to the race now. They were given the jobs because they're good drivers and by the teams. There's nothing because they're FIA, they were in Formula 1, they were given a job, you know? It's just they were found by teams, and the teams took them on.
Here's a question. Do you think if Ocon didn't join Mercedes, he would have got given a seat?
The thing is, Esteban Mercedes is coming to Formula E full time next season. So if Esteban isn't in Formula 1, I think he should look at Formula E as a place to race to hone his skills. Because it's still, I know it's different racing, but it's still going to help him keep on edge as a driver. Because he can't just spend a year doing nothing, because then it can come to a point where you can start to lose a little bit of time. I know he's doing sim work and all that, but, you know, it's no different to being in the car. You know, to be fair, when I came back to full-time racing after 6 months of not doing racing, I've still been racing on the games and I've still been racing in different places. I struggled to get back with the cars. Now, it might just be because I'm an untalented sod who just plays video games for a living, but you know. Anyway,
I make films for a living, so there you go. That's what I do.
Films are good. We don't know what films you make. Jesse Tony has joined the session, but luckily he is. I want to know who invited him firstly. So, if any Prem drivers are listening and you invited him, there will be a note against you in the chat, and you will receive a penalty because he has now been blacklisted.
But he can't join the race, can he?
He cannot join the race. He will be spectating. I have the stream open on the SFR account, so any comments made. What I do hope now, because unfortunately we can't keep him out of the PSN chat, what I do hope is that he doesn't just spam the chat to annoy people. If Elizabeth has left, that's just down to another thing. Right, I have put the message into the chat saying no messages from now on. Normally I shouldn't be texting on stream, but I am right now due to it. They're always talking during the race. Well, he can come in and do the engineering, yes, but that is just a one-time thing. He's never going to do this again. So
who's talking during the race?
Apparently he's talking to one of his friends during the race. But right, let's have a look. Dobby is in P1 ahead of Nikos in P2. Raikkonen is in P3. Samu is in P4 and Glock is in P5. Yaram in P6. So a good showing for GP2 reserve driver. P7 is Door Colours and P8 is Medium Pilot. Lickle is in P9, David is in P10. Outside of the top 10 and with free tyre choice, though everyone else's free tyre choice tonight, is Perez in P11 and Electro Dan in P12, another GP2 driver. Stocks, the reserve driver, is in P13 and Stam is in P14. James Braden is down in P15. Alfie is in P16, Reflow is in P17, and Lee is in P18, but he will not be racing. He will retire after the first couple of laps. Okay. Apparently, someone's called out the driver that has invited him in the stream chat. I will not say his name on stream because it's not appropriate for me to. But I will take a picture of that.
I'm going to have a look.
Oh, sorry, I'll send you a picture.
Okay, sweet. Cheers,
and I'll send that to the admin chat as well.
Obviously, we can't take this as full proof.
Most definitely. Few comments made in GP2, but that's nothing important towards this race.
Oh dear. Oh, yeah, I've just seen it. Oh dear. So if it is this person, I'm very disappointed. That's all I'll say.
Yes, anyway, off that subject, so race start here. Who are you going to be looking at? Alex, as I try to remember your name and not call you by the name of the driver that I just read.
I'm going to look at Reflow.
So Reflow down in P17 is going to have the eye of the T-Rex Alex upon him. And I am going to be looking at the top.
All I'll say is, in another league we raced in, we were Constructors Champions, so I've kind of got a back. as a commentator, you know, obviously I have to be construct like I was earlier. I had to go at him, but I'm also pulling for him a little bit because
Yeah, go at him and insulted his nationality because why not? Okay.
We're actually meeting for the first time 2 weeks next time. 2 weeks is today.
So we'll hear a lot about Dobby, about Reflow. Do apologise for that. So let's go on to the race because I'll be taking you through 5 lights procedures. Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here for the 5 red lights in Bahrain. It's taken us a while to get here from qualifying. 5 red lights are on. The lights are out. Now the drivers are away. Oh, it's a good start. It's a good start from Raikkonen. Dobby did not move in Nikos into P1. Dobby stalling on the line. And now he's dropped down to P4. We're going to jump back up and have a look at Nikos. He swings through. But Raikkonen into the lead. Raikkonen's in the lead. Yara, the GP2 driver, up into P3. And then a big accident. Raikkonen cutting T1.
Oh dear, any big losers there, mate?
Well, it's moving several times to apologise. Glock under pressure, trying to pass Raikkonen around the outside. Cannot happen so far. Drivers pushing on, Stam dropping in 3 positions. Reflow, what's happening back there?
Reflow, I don't know if he's got wing damage, he's just connected to the back of somebody. Yeah, it's a bit of a, he's kind of stayed back because it's been a mess. I understand the reasoning for it. You're not really going to get much space there. Interestingly though, you know, already Dobby in 5th, not a great start for our favourite house elf, but hopefully we can come back on the super soft tyres.
Or just so now I'm seeing
damage. Side by side, gold colours. Yeah, as he's going to go out the inside of David here. Can he get the job done before going into the auto spin curve? There's no way they're going to go side by side to there. It'd be someone's going to die.
It really would be. Oh my god,
Medium Pilot is getting his nose in there. Medium Pilot is also like getting his nose in there.
Down the inside goes Alfie on Medium Pilot. He has made the move with the medium speed, the auto spin corner. Do apologise for that, having to cut you off, my friend. But he's got the run now, trying to get past Orchard David. On the background, though, is Lickle, last week's winner, down the inside of Medium Pilot, following his teammate through. There's contact between teammates. And the phone buzzing in the commentary box.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that is Frank's tossed asking why I didn't return his call. As Stan wanted to go to the pitch, but Orchard had the job on him before. Reflow now here is trying to battle his way through.
Sorry, gonna have to cut you off. Lee now out of the session, but that's just down to it. Now James Braden forcing Stam off the track, and then James Braden having to go hunting after Reflow. Reflow, the big winner out of that little battle there. Down the inside, though, goes Stam. Oh, that's very aggressive, very silly from Stam. He will have to hand back that position. He knocks James Braden out of the way to pass him. And now, well, yeah, very similar to what we saw last night. Down the inside, though, of Lickle, of Orchard Davis, sorry, is Lickle. He's trying to go around the outside now, as drivers will not quit in this race. Sector 1, there is a yellow flag. I'm not sure who that is. I think that's Socks.
No, Socks is fine.
Oh, that's what's going on there.
Don't know what it was. Don't know what it was for. So now Lickle might be going for the move on to David now. He looks faster. He's got them. He hasn't stuck the move, but he's gone for it. Kind of half forces Dr. David off, but not really. That allows Medium Pilot to go around the outside, side by side to do what I think it's all about the best of late breakers now, which is Dr. David got the better traction on the inside. But Medium Pilot, we know he's quick. We know he's fast. He's in that lean, mean McLaren Renault. But these guys have got to watch out here because Perez aren't too far behind.
They've got to be careful with contact, and they are using the cars a lot as weapons this race, aren't they?
There wasn't much contact on my end. I think I was just shooting D-Sync, mate. There was no contact. But Medium Pilot, there's a 4-way train now.
Yara being passed into T1, excuse me, Yara being passed into T1, trying to defend from Raikkonen. Big crash! Raikkonen off! Raikkonen being clipped by Yarams inside, the GP2 driver clearly showing his way through here, but Raikkonen dropping down all the way to the coming big crash! Electrojan is out of the session after contact with Raikkonen! And a 5-second stop-and-go penalty for Perez getting involved as well.
There is no safety car deployed! I was about to say that there is no way we're not getting a safety car. The Toro Rosso of Kimi Raikkonen, Electrojan as well. That was just, I think that was a tad silly from...
I think Raikkonen wasn't looking, was he?
Yeah, I think that was a tattoo from Raikkonen.
He span onto the racing line. We were completely on board with him. He span onto the racing line after being out in the sticks. I get your tyres are overheated, but slowly accelerate. He's in the chat right now. I do hope that isn't a slur being yelled at someone or any swearing. If that is, and there's a comment, please let me know, and there will be mentioned.
If you can you screenshot?
No, it's in the vocal chat.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm not happy if he's yelling at someone in the vocal chat.
That is possibly the case. To be fair, yeah, it's no one's fault as well. Would you
Well,
like?
no
I
one's
don't.
fault. I want to say it's Raikkonen's fault because he wasn't paying attention as he was spinning round. That's my point. He
He's
has left
left
the
the
section now.
session. Nikos is
He didn't
coming
finish
in.
that
I don't.
sucked.
He won't. Oh no, he's not. He's faked it. Dobby is Dobby going to come in? No, he thought about it. But someone no. Samuel can't come in. No one's boxing yet.
Well, remember they don't really have an alternate strategy because remember most of them are on the better strategy. Daniel saying that there was no ghost, he was involved in that incident. Perez is actually into pit lane now. Yes, you were involved in that incident. The ghosting here is slightly inconsistent. I think if a car's moving, he was going at a moderate speed, there wouldn't have been a ghost. So I'm not sure, but the two Ferraris are leading here. Yaram in P2, the GP2 reserve driver. I think to be fair, he got very lucky not to get caught up in many incidents that race, didn't he?
Well, no, yeah, but like to be fair, you know, we can call him lucky, but you just got to be in the right place at the right time. I don't agree, and I don't believe in luck when it comes to racing. I think it's all just skill. Yeah, I mean, yes, sometimes things kind of fall onto your lap, and that's how you get up
Questionably,
there.
with the luck, would you say that last night's winner, Zocca, was lucky because Yaram got a puncture?
No, because I think he just won the correct strategy and Zaram didn't. I don't think. Again, I'm not going to call him a lucky winner. I'm going to say that maybe Zaram was the better of the two, which is definitely the case. But I'm not going to start saying that Yaram didn't deserve the win or Zocca didn't deserve the win.
I wasn't saying that at all. I wasn't saying that at all.
But then, but by calling him a lucky, I'm sorry, we're going to have a debate here whilst we're on the safety car. But by calling him a lucky winner, doesn't that mean that technically he wasn't the deserving winner?
It wasn't saying that he didn't deserve the win. It was down to strategy, and it was the fact that the luck coincided that Yoram's tyres blew at that certain percentage that time. It's a dice playing game once you get past 70% whether your tyres will blow, and his tyres blew.
Well,
sometimes you can go from 70% up to as Jesse Tony leaves the chat. Well, that's fair. He has been blacklisted. They can blow at 72% or they can blow at 99%. It's just a luck based thing with it, and it's just how the system blows at that point.
Well, all I'm going to say to you, mate, is that one thing to talk about is safety car. Hopefully, there won't be a safety car glitch in the next game where nobody where the safety cars won't come out. Hopefully that won't be on the next game. We can actually get proper real life safety cars. Obviously we got one today. But do you feel that in this game that safety cars don't come out and possibly they should?
The safety car has been very loose with the coming out onto track this game. We can start talking about it because obviously it's coming to the end of the game cycle very earlier than we expected.
So do you think this is a one-off, or do you think they're now going to come out every June?
I think this is... to be honest, we don't know. This could be anything. We will see exactly what it is. Just before we continue this conversation, I'm just going to run through the grid as it stands under the safety car conditions. Nikos is in P1 ahead of Yaram in P2. Dobby, after a god-awful start, is still in P3 ahead of Glock in P4. Samu is in P5, and there was contact under the safety car between Glock and Dobby. Dobby weaving very heavily. Samu in P5 and Glock is in P6. Lickle's teammate Alfie is in P7 and Lickle himself is right behind him in P8. Orchard David in P9, Medium Pilot is in P10, Reflow is in P11, so having a good time himself, and James Braden down in P12. Stam is in Stam is in P13 and his teammate for tonight is in P14. Wait, who did that say got a severe collision?
Dobby.
How?
Don't know.
Was it with Stamp? Hold on, I'm going to have to check the race director. Stocks is in P14 and then Perez is in P15. Drivers that will not finish the race will be going through in a minute. Let me just have a look. I want to find out what that was. I don't normally look at race director. Collision with Glock. Okay, and then Stam, Orchard Stocks getting a stop and go penalty for collision with Stam as well, his teammate. So yeah, 4 drivers with stop and go penalties just there. But yes, drivers that won't finish the race. Electro Dan, who took the very safety car, is in this lap, so we will go through that procedure in a minute. But Daniel saying that he's happy it didn't happen yesterday, so I think that's a very mature approach. Raikkonen, who made a mistake, and then Lionel, who was here as a race director. Drivers that will not be starting this Grand Prix, Jesse Tony, due to being blacklisted in qualifying for blatant
I'm going to follow somebody in the middle again. I'm going to follow Reflow again.
Well, God Colours apparently has got his teammates' approval right now, saying he's going to win. Nikos has dropped it though. The Ferrari is off. Do apologise for cutting you off there, Alex. I do realise that I've just completely steamrolled over what you're saying, but DRS has been not enabled because that will be active next lap. It's disabled, enabled, then disabled. That's really annoying for me. Oh dear, Socks into pit lane, already serving as penalty, but Nikos absolutely flying away. No moves into T1 by the looks of it.
To David!
Waking me up.
Nickel! Sorry, mate, you did the same to me.
It's alright.
David Nickel side by side already, and these guys were battling all race so far. It's not going to end now, though.
It really isn't. Nickel aggressively moving to the inside there. And then
just now we didn't pilot the inside of Orchard David. We didn't pilot. Gracefully gets out of that one. Reflow's on the end of this, though, with a great helicopter shot. I'm going to follow Reflow just because of the helicopter shot, mate.
Well, I'm getting helicopter shots everywhere, trying to find the biggest gap right now. Down the inside goes Perez on James Braden. He has made the move. Perez, obviously, with a stop-and-go penalty, that will not help him later on in the race. Now onto the DRS. Obviously, no DRS active straight after the safety car. We'll see what happens.
Nope. That's what it's all about, mate. It's a waiting game. As now we have medium pilot push to try and get some stuff done here in this particular race. Get some stuff.
He wants to get his way through, doesn't he?
Yeah, he needs to, really. We know he's a lot better than P10. Hopefully his move to McLaren wasn't a bad one from last season. He was in a Mercedes last time, so don't really know what happened there. As Dobby now might be thinking I'm going for a move. He's 2/10 back. Watch out, you're on.
Well, right now we're going to look at Alfie, who's pausing alongside.
Dobby's got him!
Dobby's got him, has he?
Oh, almost, yep, almost done, yeah, mate, there you go, as I said. He's side by side going into T1. Yarm doesn't really put up touch. Oh, he clipped him! He clipped Dobby! Yarm again!
Involved in 2 incidents at that corner now. So the GP2 driver not doing himself any favour in this. Just because you're in... Oh, God, that made my heart go. Just because you're not racing in your normal division does not mean that all racing rules are out the window. I do apologise for the sights we're seeing tonight. Stam being forced out wide by James Braden, then bigger contact, and Stam into the barrier.
What is going on with these
They're
guys?
acting like it's the first day of school, aren't they? Alfie now trying to defend from Samu. Samu down the inside in a very aggressive corner. Alfie coming back at him with an absolutely eternal move there. Not making contact, I don't believe, with the Red Bull.
Gold colours in P4, the GP2 driver. To tell you what, the GP2 drivers, apart from Yarm's performance, because he's, no offence, he's not been the cleanest, the GP2 drivers have come to play tonight.
They truly have. They're showing off their skills. And now Reflow getting passed by Perez for P10. Remember, Perez does have a penalty, though. And now Samu on the back of God Colours wants to make a move on the sister team of the Red Bull and get through as quickly as he can.
Yeah, but I think, the issue is right now, I feel bad for Dobby, that kind of racing, it's inexcusable. I think inexcusable.
Well, what we'll do, we'll leave it to the stewards as best we can. Because of we've had enough of being angry. Let's try and be happy this stream as best we can. Dock into pit lane now. Here comes
Samu on God Colours. That's
a very ambitious dive bomb, really, isn't it? It has paid out, and God Colours, knowing he was going to go for the dive bomb, it's a very popular move, dive bombing into turn 1, leaving him enough room.
God Colours comes back. God Colours comes back. That is, he's saying, I might be in the Toro Rosso in a division down, mate, but I'm here to play. And I think, we've seen some brilliant, even though we've seen some harsh, maybe not clean racing, we are seeing some really good stuff here from most of the drivers.
We truly are, and we're looking at that medium pilot dropping down a position, no fighting with Orchard David, 2x2, still side by side, coming through the S's, now into the corner.
Orchard David's got the inside. Yeah, Orchard David had the inside there, was always going to be the move. Tell you what, Perez, though, he took over to Reflow. He's on the move right now. He's got a little charge on the soft tyres. Needs to be, really. He should be faster than these guys in the mediums. He's on 4-lap old softs as well, so he's quite new softs. He's using DRS here, but Orchard David, medium pilot, still going top. See, that's good racing. There's a slight bit of contact, nothing too harsh though. Oh, I'm really worried for Perez through here, mate. Watch out, if someone gets taken out, you're going to go with them.
Perez absolutely trailbreaking there, trying to follow on there, tailgating, that's the official term, I do apologise. And there's no DRS down here straight. Arguably, there should be DRS down here, but because of the corner at the end of the straight, how it's the nature of that corner, they can't do it because the entry speed would be too great and they'd be going too far. That's what I believe happened.
Oh,
but
here comes
DRS
Perez,
open.
I think. Perez, the good thing is that Ultra David has DRS here, so it might not be easy for the Mercedes-powered Racing Point. He's gonna go for the move. Oh, he half goes for it there. Good job by Perez. Kind of went out of it. He realised that he just couldn't get it done. But that was very mature.
Down the inside of Gold Colours goes Lickle, and Lickle just completely making the move. Gold Colours, unfortunately.
Side of Ultra David, contact made. Oh, it was clean contact, but contact nonetheless. Ultra David is unfortunately very, very slow right now. But there's a battle going on here between Gold Collars, Lickle, and Samu. But mate, this battle here with Ultra David is not done, and Reflow is very much right behind these guys as well. And Ultra David doesn't really seem on the pace compared to Meaty Pilot anymore. I don't know if there's damage on that Alfa Romeo.
It might be down to tyres as well. Remember, the tyre, he might have been battling so hard that he has cooked his tyres to the point that they aren't as fresh as they used to be.
They are mediums, so I hope that's not the case. Because he needs to be running those for the majority of his race. Sorry about the vibrations. But he needs to be running those for the majority of his race here, and I think it's telling if your tyres are already cooked. Zubby's out again on super soft, so he never boxed even. Which is fair enough. He's right behind Reflow at the minute. Mate, we've seen some brilliant racing mixed in with the bad stuff. But Nikos, he's running away with this here, but he should box probably this lap. He's definitely doing the one stop here, but he needs to be wary because I think it was 9 laps. Was it Yarm? Yeah, it was Yarm. Took these super softs and they burst, so he needs to be careful.
It will be interesting. It was 9 or 10 laps that we saw with Yaram taking a size. Yaram obviously in P2, the GP2 driver. Obviously, at this point, if you were a driver and this was GP3 and you saw, say you were in GP2 and you performing this way, would you be surprised if drivers in your division were then calling for you to be moved up because you were fighting as well as you were in this, or like competing as well at speed as you were in this division?
It wouldn't surprise me. No, I think even though speed is one thing, I think maturity is another thing. I think even though I'm in the lowest tier and I find myself to be quite a mature driver.
Well, I wouldn't say lowest tier. I think we don't do them on height to saying that Prem is the best and GP3 is the worst. No, I think it's more just like...
No, wait, no, because it isn't have the split of speed and skill.
The first tier.
No, because it's the lowest tier that we offer. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just because it's the lowest doesn't mean it's bad. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it here, JB. I'll be honest, as a driver that's down there, I have a right to call it the lowest tier. And I think, being in the lowest tier isn't such a bad thing. Being in the highest tier isn't always a good thing, because it always depends on how you react in those tiers and the type of drivers. Speed isn't everything, but unfortunately when it comes to an F1 game, obviously speed is the big thing, because we don't want to make it boring for drivers. Nikos has just come in. He managed to survive on those softs. But my thing, mate, is that right now...
Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Samu is up for an attack. Alfie aggressively going to the inside, defending. Samu trying to go around the outside of the Renault. Remember, his teammate's right behind him, so Samu's going to make a move before Lickle makes a move on him. And there might be team orders coming from Cyril Abitable. Right now, this is Lickle's favourite place to overtake. Oh, a little bit of weaving there on track. Lots of weaving there on track. These guys need to pick a line and stick with it, because round the outside goes Lickle, and he can't make the move stick.
Reflow overtook Ultra David. I think, as you say, getting Ultra David's tyres are cooked, mate. Because he's just dropping back.
It's either that or he's lifting off to try and save the tyres. That's the other option.
No, but it's lap 11. I don't think at that point you should be lifting for medium tyres. I mean, medium pilot seems good and he's in the same amount of battling. I don't really understand. Will there be Alfa Romeo team orders now though? Because Dobby is on a completely different strategy. They stayed out on the super softs. God Collins has left session.
He's lagged out.
Now, Ultra David might be letting his teammate through. That's exactly what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. I think
he's going to lose the into Braden though, because James Braden is going to go down the inside to try and make the move, and Ultra David coming back on track. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. To be completely honest,
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Team orders are in
more
regular.
The fact that he went all 4 wheels outside of the white line. That's more that I'm questioning.
I think he did make a mistake though, mate. He did make a mistake against
We will have to review that, obviously. I believe that the stewards will probably get involved. Just going to completely cut you off for what you're about to say, because Lickle is closing in once more on Samu. He's got DRS. He's in the DRS train. He's got to make the move soon on the medium tires. He's gone for it, and he has gone for it down the inside. He hit the stamp and send it, much like Daniel Ricciardo does in that car. He's going to squeeze into the apex, and once again, Goldcolour's rejoining there. Once again, those two getting through it. Okay, little bit of a touch on side pod versus wheel, but Samu losing the position. Oh, that's the wrong one. Samu back ahead of him, actually. So now Lickle trying to defend from the corner. I cannot, for the life of me, find Samu's ID. There he is.
This is surely one of the best battles in SFR history, no?
Oh, I wouldn't say history. We'd have to look back and see top 10 battles in SFR.
No, but I'm saying this has the potential, to be that at this stage.
Yeah.
So, Sector 3...
I believe that might just be Goldcolour's logging back into his car. But now, DRS back open. Ooh, I don't know. Can you just go investigate Sector 3 for me? But...
No one's in Sector 3, I don't really get it.
God, we're going June.
But,
we can now say that countdown to 2019. I like that. We'll do a
bring
countdown
on
to
June
2019.
and it can be a double meaning thing. It can bring on June. I can turn 18. I can legally drink alcohol. Bring on June. The F1 game's going out.
Well, bring on June. I can turn 20, and I can already legally drink alcohol, though I don't. You know, spoilers.
Well, look at you being all healthy and.
I'm responsible. My liver is already screwed, so you know.
It turns out how much. You guys don't know how much
Yoram
McDonald's
is in.
eats, though.
Yoram is
no,
in.
Not. He
yes,
faked
he
it.
is.
He faked it.
Oh, he faked it.
Okay. No, you're allowed to do that within the rules. You're allowed.
To be fair, I wrote half these rules, and I'm trying to think if it was all right. So, do excuse me,
mate. It's fine. I'm going to be honest here. I know you're trying to be Mr. All Steward here, but I think that's a very harsh. I think part of the. I know some of this might annoy you, as you're like the good top guy, and I shouldn't really be arguing what you're saying.
I'm not the top guy. No. Let me just clear that
David
I am
also,
not the top guy.
David had wing damage, mate. That's why he went so far back. He just went into the pits and he's put on a new wing. But
okay.
mate, as you're one of the top guys here in SFR, I feel like I am still okay to argue with you. I think that's completely fine. Trying to throw you
on commentary, I'm saying down the inside goes Alfie of Yoram, forcing him a little bit aggressively to get past him. There was rubbing, but I think that's perfectly legal, and I think Yoram's going to think that too, because Yoram's going to try and go back around the outside of him. But we shall see what happens there.
This is a good day for Renault, mate. Look at the Ferrari.
Oh, no, it's not the Ferrari!
The Ferrari's lost it. I don't know about the Renault though.
Well, Renault's fine.
Already come 5 of that Renault.
Well, no,
Yoram cannot be angry at that.
What happened with Yoram was that he went on the curb and he completely powered the throttle to try and get the boost over past his teammate, past the Renault, and Alfie, who at that point, who actually pulls into pit lane. There is no damage on the Renault because it was wing versus side.
Samu and Alfie are in. This is going to be interesting here. What they're going to go for? Medium tyres on both, I would assume.
Trying to top pass Dobby. He has passed the house off through just before the auto spin section, and it is through. And that's a very good move for the now charging Goldcolours, who had to stop for super soft tyres.
Why has Nikos come back in? Maybe no, he hasn't. So that's not bad.
Nikos moving up next to Yoram, yeah.
Yoram's in on super softs. He's not making them last. Maybe no. I think at that point that's just throwing away the race. I think that's just throwing away the race. To be honest,
to be completely honest, I think that contact. He's not happy with the contact. Hopefully, he's not in such a bad mood that he'll be playing a little bit silly. But I think that he's just gonna try and go for laps to see how long he can last the super soft tyres. Don't know. I thought he did that last night. To be completely honest.
Not been a good day for Mercedes, is it? It's their 14th, 15th. Not a good day for Alfa Romeo either. They're 12th and 13th. But I don't know, man. Reflo's now in the top 4. Yes, he hasn't stopped yet, but you know that's still a good position to be in. And to be honest, you know, if he can just make those mediums last well, he could be with a shot of like a top 5 finish here today.
He definitely can be. So we will see what race comes in
Perez
later on.
Will now probably come in, I would assume. Because I wouldn't run any longer on. I'd put the mediums on now, I'd feel fair. Tad that odds off, so he's not going to box you yet. Interesting. Mate, I just don't know what's going to happen here. I'm
most definitely doing it. And that's part of the best thing about league racing, is the idea that, especially because obviously here in SFR we run equal cars. And I actually this Sunday, we're going to have my chance in another league where I am testing out the cars in full realistic mode to find out what happens. The reefer gets a 3-second time penalty. So here in SFR we run equal cars, and that's not changing because we have this mantra of anyone can win because they have the same equipment. Now there's all the things about the cars handling differently, and some of them handling worse than others. That's, it's what you're into, what you're used to. But here, this shows why we have equal cars, because right now we have a McLaren and a Renault up top, and the Mercedes down at the back, and that is all down to now driver's hand. Essentially, we're running Formula 2 here.
Yeah, Reflow, unfortunately, not on the speed of Perez and the other top. Medium Pilot now in second place. He had a very quiet race, to be honest. I didn't realise he was up that ahead, up that far, but it is spectacular to see this at the minute.
Arguably, he's a little bit helped by the pit stops that has been around him.
The biggest mover is Reflow at the minute, though, 13 positions up. Obviously, most of that's down to incident. No offence to you, Luke, if you are still listening. You've had a solid race here, but it cannot be excused to say that that's what it is. As right now, the medium pilot's got DRS on Lickle. Obviously, he's way too far back here. Let's see how much he closes in with the assistance of DRS. It's down to 7 tenths now, 6 tenths. I think if I get down to 5 here just before, I think we might be on for a little bit of a couple laps of a battle here, because we know Lickle, he's a firm but a fair driver.
He is firm but fair. Remember, race winner in the first race of the season here in GP on this one, in the Premier Division. And he's looking very confident to try and take on a second one. But I think the McLaren Renault, same power unit in this car, obviously, that makes a difference, that the cars are all on equal. The same power.
I've got another great helicopter shot on medium pilot right now.
I know, that's brilliant, isn't it? Look at that, you see the drivers catching up at the back, see someone going through the start-finish straight. Some of the angles on this game are brilliant.
To be fair, this should be like they should make 3 modes to the camera. They should make it like broadcast, like in the thing, and then also helicopter. Just so if you wanted to watch the entire lap through a helicopter shot, it'd be insane. But
I'll tell you what. On my top 10 wish list for F1 2019 in spectator mode, in my mode that I spend a lot of time in, would be to see a little +3 next to the driver's names or something that have a penalty. Because they have all that space next to the driver's name. Like Nickel, they have all that space between interval, they can have +3 or something, And they're definitely going to have like the purple number for the fastest lap. We'll see that in the next game, which means that points
we have it in this game.
Medium pilot
have it in this game. Medium pilot's in on the mediums already.
Yeah, but
showing me for softs.
On the graphics in the 2019 TV graphics, they have whichever station you watch it on, they have the number will turn purple, or they'll have a little clock that will change into that will be added next to their time of who has that who has the fastest lap, and I assume that we'll have that added in later on into the next game that's coming in June. How many times do I have to say that? Because I'm so excited to the potential of helmet customization.
Helmet? That's already in the game.
No. Helmet as in sponsors.
But I thought it was only car. I didn't know they were changing helmet as well.
Car, and they hinted towards helmets. They said car and driver customizability, more of customizability. That's it, customizability.
I wonder what Lickle's going to do. I really hope he's going on the softs here, because he could sabotage his race if he's going to pull it out to the super softs again. He can do that, but at this point, I just try and cover off the medium pilot. Yeah.
I think.
Oh, Lickle loses it a little bit. Oh, I thought it was over. I did think it was over. Around here, you don't want to lose it at all.
I wonder if that's him now going, okay, that's going to be the point. Little bit of brown coming out, and he's going to quickly. I'm never saying that again on stream. He's going to now bail into pit lane this lap. But what's helping him is that pressuring medium pilot right now is his teammate. So maybe he was hoping his teammate would come into the pit, but no, Nickel is in. The race leader is in, and championship leader is into the pit lane.
Perez is in as well. Which means Reflow, if he stays out, we'll take the race lead of, well, not the net racing, he will take the race lead. But no, he's also coming in. Which means James Braden, no!
The top four pitting like it's the rain, and then in as a bit of my skin flakes off to, excuse me, my sunburns on the hill. Nikos is now into the lead of the Grand Prix.
That's grim!
Yeah,
Why did you mention that?
I mentioned a lot more things on stream, but Medium Pilot has jumped Lickle in the pit lane, and that's the other pit.
Lickle got held up. Lickle got held up, man.
He's dropped, yeah, so the held up has affected him quite heavily. But Dobby on the back of Gold Colours now, GP2 now having a look at trying to, no, James Braden down the inside of Gold Colours. James Braden just coming out of the pit lane. We've seen this happen before between Williams and Toro Rosso, but the other way round. No contact this time. On the run though, James Braden passing Gold Colours. Three wide!
Three wide! Three wide! Oh my lord! James Braden, oh!
Whoa, lag from Gold Colours, big lag from the Gold Colours. So he shouts.
I didn't mean to shout there.
Control yourself, boy. Control yourself. We do not shout on stream. That's James Britt. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that.
Gold Colours again wrong. With the lag.
Yeah, that's worrying, to be honest, isn't it?
Yes. Interesting though, Medium Pilot is completely catching Nikos on those tyres.
I think, to be fair, Little, who has stopped now for soft tyres, he hasn't had the best outlap because he's because he's now hunting down
Glocky on the inside of reflow. Sorry to cut you off there, mate. What a dive bomb there from the Williams driver. A good dive bomb at that. Don't take that as an insult there, Glocky. That was not an insult. What a move. Now will repay the favour. No, he's going to wait for the DRS straight. A very smart move there by the Red Bull driver. But here again, then what's going to happen in traction? Yeah, I think even without DRS, he would have got the job done. I think the DRS is just going to help him. There you go, job done, mate.
DRS pulling him along. Hamilton and Verstappen mentioning something about rendezvous, something from DRS. I cannot for the life of me think what it was. They referenced it, but I cannot, like, I've read it. And
wasn't it like the Band-Aid or something?
Yeah, they said a Band-Aid. Maybe they don't want DRS anymore on the cars because they saw how IndyCar
Medium Pilot and Nikos. Look how close they've got. I don't know what happened to Nikos. He is
Nikos. I think that's down to his tyres. I think that's down to his tyre difference between fresh, softs, and mediums.
Well, this is going to be job done for Medium Pilot, really, isn't it?
Remember, this corner is hard to attack into. We've seen drivers make the move, but normally, more often than not, it ends in a little bit of a touch. And now Medium Pilot trying to fight his way through. There was no touch through there. Again, the engine smoke coming out of the cars is really annoying.
Yeah. Is it? Can you see engine smoke? Can you?
No, yeah, I see like the blue smoke coming out the back of the cars. I don't know if you see it, but it makes me. It just makes me feel like they're making more contact with tyre rubs.
Is that a glitch or?
It's always been in the game. It's just a visual thing that they haven't really patched. It drives me insane.
I've got a terrible angle here for this battle. Medium Pilot, the assistance of DRS. Will Nikos defend? There's nothing he can really do.
He really can't. Medium Pilot is ahead now into T1. Nikos can try and get back on him with the brakes. He has tried, but it hasn't happened. The Ferrari being passed by McLaren. Can we hear that again this season? As Gold Colours losing another position to Dobby. I think his super soft tyres are starting to look a little bit more second hand.
Flo in P8 is kind of left Glocky in the dust. I don't know what happened to Glocky, but he's been overtaken by his teammate as well.
I think it's because Glocky's tyres are on 12 lap old mediums, to be honest. They're starting to look a little bit old.
To Perez, unfortunately. I think Flo's going to hit his maximum for today's Grand Prix. But Nikos, though, he's still got to keep him with Medium Pilots. He's got Lickle directly behind him. Can the assistance of DRS help Nikos at all? I don't know. But we know Nikos is a very quick driver, and he'll try everything to stay in the fold here.
DRS open on the 75 car as he hunts down that McLaren. He wants to make the move soon, but I think, to be honest, he's on the strategy. He's not yet pitted. Is he going to the end? I think he is, because we are on lap 20 out of 29. I know it's taken us a while to get here, but we are finally here. And with 10 laps to go, I can't call it. I don't know who's going to win this Grand Prix.
Neither do I. I think Lickle is a favourite. I think he's just kind of sat there waiting. The longer he waits, the more Medium Pilot gets away from Nikos, and I think, he's kind of lost out to Nikos a little bit in that last sector. What can Nikos do now? He's got a long straight. How much can he close in by? He hasn't let Medium Pilot go completely, over the course of that.
He really hasn't. I think Nikos' tyres just able to hang on a little bit more. Just on board now with Samu, who's trying to pass Alfie. He has moved to the inside, and Alfie's just defending. Yarim into pit lane once more, and Samu trying to find his way past the Renault. It hasn't happened yet, but Alfie defending hard. One side, that's one move. Now Samu trying to go round the outside as being squeezed by the Renault once more. And these two battle. This guy, I don't know what's happening. The temperature's definitely getting very flared in the Spaniard's helmet of Samu. He's looking at making a move on Alfie very soon. This might be a dive bomb into this corner. It is! Very difficultly. Ooh, how they didn't touch there, I do not know.
Me neither, mate. And now there's a bit of a gap here. I think this is medium pilots to win now here. But Lickle, he's got DRS blah, 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 blah. He's got DRS on Nikos.
That's a brilliant statement there. The new PM has been announced to be Alex.
Was that a Prime Minister joke?
Yes.
I can sort out Brexit. No. Nikos, though, he's going to be in trouble soon. I think there's going to be a battle here between the Renault and the Mercedes. Mercedes McLaren. Jesus Christ. I can't even use the... I mean, I'm recovering from my illness. It's not completely back yet, but... why do you challenge Jimmy Carr?
Meanwhile, at the back of the grid, you see Glocky and Stam and Godcolours fighting for absolute peanuts right now.
Here comes Lickle! Ooh, he's gonna go for it. He's got to. He's done the move. Has he done it to perfection? No, Samu's also got the move done on Alfie. Ooh, brilliant.
And all of this, we saw Glock just making a move up the inside of the Mercedes. The Mercedes pushing hard.
James Braden in the reflow. James Braden kind of locks up there. Might allow reflow to get him back on the exit.
Can the drivers calm down for a minute and let me commentate on one battle before they start doing another one? James Braden goes to the inside.
And James Braden, very good defensive drive there from James Braden. Reflow going to let him through, maybe think about DRS straight. But James Braden goes wide here, and that's going to hold up reflow, to be honest.
Right now,
and Alfie and Samu are still really close together.
I do love that I keep selecting these drivers.
Reflow on the inside! Oh, we thought about it, couldn't do it though. Oh, I'm going to keep asking this one, mate. It looks like it's going to be a tasty one down the DRS straight.
Apologies to everyone that we're jumping through the cameras pretty quickly right now as I'm trying to find a big lock-up from James Braden on the front left. Do apologise that I was flicking through very quickly there, trying to find a battle that I could settle on that actually looks that there's going to be a move. There's possibly one up here now with
no, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I'm not going to... Oh, Alfie, okay. I don't think you want to overtake there. I think it will be a DRS straight overtake. Interesting, mate, though. These guys on the same age tyres with Flo and James Braden. This is for P7. How many points is P7, if you remember?
4. I want to say.
4? I don't think you're correct. I think P7's more than 4, surely.
Maybe 12.
6.
No,
I think
6. It might be 6. I'm trying to think now, when Vettel lost it at Silverstone with the puncher on the last couple of laps, he finished P7. I was at Silverstone at that point. And we were trying to work out how many points he was ahead
Here
of
comes
Hamilton.
The flow.
Yep, just seen that now, cutting onto the angle, and he's trying to go round the outside of the Williams. Williams not giving him an inch of room whatsoever. Perfectly legal in all of those moves there. But it's who gets the traction out of this corner, and it seems to be perfectly legal.
Well, it seems to be reflow. The flow, he's going to go for it around here now. He's got to outbrake James Braden here, which James Braden's doing very well. He's outbraking reflow. Bit of contact made, and that's wing damage.
I don't think there was any contact on my screen. Do apologise.
It was a little bit, I think it was a bit of nose, like he got very close to his nose at least. Liquid slowly beginning to close that gap now then to medium pilot, but he hasn't got the laps ready to go.
He really doesn't.
Soon.
Reflow getting very close to the back of James was what a big lockup on James Braden. He's struggling on those tyres.
Reflow's got to do this now. Reflow's got to do this now. This is his prime opportunity. We're going to see what's happening. No, I don't think it's going to happen again. Reflow doesn't really have the setup, it seems.
He's slow on the straights, quick in the corners. That's the thing with Reflow. And I think he's more being pulled along by the Williams, which is quite insane because normally the Williams is the one being pulled along. But I think he's being pulled along on the speed of the Williams. He's trying to make moves, but he can't capitalise on it because his car has no power whatsoever.
GP2 engine. No,
this is Prem. They have Premier engines in this one. GP2 was yesterday, mate.
If I was making an Alonso reference.
I know, and I was ruining the Alonso reference.
Here comes Reflow again.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. Okay, little bit from what I saw there. Big contact on the inside. Reflow's getting very annoyed with passing the Williams. That has caused him to get through. But now James Braden getting the run. We know Braden's fast up here. I think there might have been there was a little bit of a mistake on James's point of view, but it looked like there was a little bit of a weave. But we can only just say that I switched back onto it very late, so I didn't see the full move.
There was a weave. I was watching it the whole way.
A weave, not a weave. A weave. Oh, no, that was a brake check.
From who?
From Reflow.
Oh dear. Right, a bit of anger
from the road once driver. Again, drivers are reminded they are not allowed to drive to brake check drivers. And no matter what mood you're in, you do not do it. It's a bit silly if you do.
I didn't say I agreed with it. I just kind of had an explanation.
I'm explaining for everyone else about it. I'm not jumping on you.
I thought you were calling me a reflow fanboy.
I love you.
And we were saying even that. No, I don't love you, Pat.
It's okay. Calm down.
I don't love you. I don't love you anymore.
I'm gonna get you some tea. Do you want some tea?
I don't like tea.
Do you want your juice? I'll get you some juice to make you feel better.
I like coffee.
Coffee will do. I like that. That was the weirdest 40 seconds of the stream right there, and we've been doing this for about 2 hours.
Here comes Alfie on Samu. There's a bit of a gap there, though. Interestingly, though, mate.
4 cents, I wouldn't make a move there, would you? We saw it last night.
No, here comes James Braden on reflow, though. This is still a very strong battle for me, mate. And Nickel was dropped completely off the back of medium pilots. I think there's a medium pilot for us to win.
Medium pilot, I think Morley is race to lose at this point, isn't it? But reflow making the move, he is ahead. That is it. I'm not going to make any comment about the brake check because that was quite obvious what it was. Because it was a flat out part of the track. But
I know you're much more of a, you're much more like, you're much more reserved guy, and I voice my opinions because my opinions don't really matter because I'm not a steward. But like, I just want to say, what is your mindset when you see moves like that? Not that specifically that move, but like a brake check. How do you kind of monitor that? Do you go in thinking that? Do you think how it affects the overall race, or do you think just that one move, or do you kind of let it go if it was only like one incident? I'm kind of interested as a steward. What your thoughts are?
In my eyes, as a steward, now I don't steward this division. I don't actually steward any division. The stewards are to remain anonymous for many reasons.
Toto Wolf.
That will be explained, says Lee. But in my small little opinion, as someone who doesn't have a lick of interest in the stewarding, is that is a little bit. I normally have to bite my tongue pretty heavily as a streamer as well, not to make any silly comments myself on stream, because I can. You see how long? Because normally I give you a warning, as shown by earlier on the stream. I'll give you a warning if I'm going to make a comment which is a little bit mean. Can I actually stop that talking? Whoa! Aggressively to the outside! It's James Braden! Not sure that there was more contact to the inside. I think it was more just guiding the Red Bull out of his way was James Braden, but I think that's exactly the same move as what happened with reflow on James Braden and stuff. These guys battling very hardly. Hardly?
Yeah,
hard?
I've got helicopter shots on reflow. I'm going to follow these guys through at the minute, mate, because these guys are the closest battle on track. Nichols caught back up to medium pilot. Again, I think the gap's just too far at the stage, unless he catches up like mad. But there's Dobby looming in the background. I don't know if Dobby can influence this, actually.
I think the battling is starting to get very hard, and they've got to decide who goes where. But at the same time, they're going to keep going, because they've still got time. Stam is now the fastest man on track in P15. Struggled a lot this race. Gold colours parking.
Gold colours and altered socks!
Gold
contact made.
Did he cut that corner in your opinion? Did Gold colours cut that corner in your opinion? He's way off track. He's letting through. So he has cut the corner. Yeah. That's what behaviour right there from Gold colours. Knowing that he's passed off track, gained an advantage, and then he's pulled off, not off the track, quote unquote, but he's pulled off the racing line and has let the other driver through. And that is actually one of the rules in SFR. If you gain an advantage off track, please let someone back through. But
you can tell that reflow's a lot faster in the corners. James Braden flies on the straights, but reflow just clutched him back in. Reflow's going to have to go for a move here again, I think, mate. No, look how much. Weave again for Braden!
No, that was one move. That was one move from I saw it. I saw it on board with reflow. That was one move.
Contact. Sorry.
That contact was down to, I think, James going too deep.
I thought that was a weave there from Braden. I apologise, James. But, reflow again. This is where he's faster. Dobby's right on the back of this, though, man.
Yeah, well, also on the back of someone else is Orchard Socks on the back of Gold Colours, trying to find any form of movement to get past the McLaren.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You're doing it now. You said Gold Colours.
Oh my god, you're infecting me. I need my coffee. DRS Open on the Mercedes, trying to pass the Toro Rosso, which is stronger. We saw Toro Rosso make a good result here in real Formula 1 last year. Don't know what's going to happen this year, because that's happening this weekend if you want to have a look at it. Whoa, that was a bit iffy there, a bit of moving in the braking zone from Socks.
I think I'm James Braden thinking about it.
Lag off Gold Colours, sorry. I'm not sure what's happening down there.
Look how much closer Alfie is to Samu.
Samu's, I think consistently that gap's been there all of the time in this stint. Reflow getting actually a mistake on the curve, and now Braden getting the better run on the straight. This is a straight we don't normally see past that. And Dobby thinking Dobby's thinking about it, but down the inside goes, has Refo. I thought he had a puncher for a moment there, but another mistake from James Braden. This is going to get very interesting because now Alfie is actually past Samu. Right, James, one move to the inside. A little bit of a move there. That is 2 moves. He can't move again. Down the inside, there's contact! That was down to locking up, and that was a completely out of control Williams there. Now on board with the Salva. He's going to try and get the better run with the white and gold helmet.
I think Reflow's banking on the fact that Dobby will go for a move here, because I think James Braden overall is the faster of these three.
Most definitely. Just going to swap up, but just a note to everyone, this is the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. We haven't noticed it, but it is the penultimate lap. Got a nice stationary camera angle at the side of the track now as we see Reflow come through, then James Braden and Dobby.
Medium Pilot, they're doing a very good job right now in the lead. I think he's got it now. I mean, Gold Collar's in it again. Gold Collars have retired.
I think that might have been down to connection as well.
Giving it a good go.
Yeah, I mean, no, props to it. Props to all of the GP2 drivers that do come up here and have a shot at Prem.
Samu and Alfie's not done though, mate. Sorry to cut you off. Samu and Alfie, they're not done.
They are not done. Remember, we are on to the last lap of the Grand Prix right now, and Medium Pilot is ahead by 1.7 seconds. Who's in P4, though? And Samu braking so much later than Alfie. We've there. Yellow flags ahead. Oh, that might affect him. Yellow flags are active on the straight. Back to green flags now. DRS is open. Samu trying to find a gap. He's going to try and go around the outside of the Renault, not giving him any room. He is ahead now. But in the braking zone, Alfie going to try and come back at him. They go, both going deep. There is contact there. Last year we saw Max Verstappen get a puncher via doing that type of move there. And Jake Braden passing Reflow. Oh, but he's gone too deep, way too deep. Passing into it and he's lost the position to, what's his name, Dobby at the same time. Do apologise for that. And Gold Collars and Electra then having enough.
Dobby's on a hunt now here for P7.
What a good interruption now, mate, because Yaran passing Orchard David down the inside once more. T1 gone too deep, once more having to stop the car as Yaran Ferrari still struggling to get past the Alfa Romeo, who's got the run now up into turn 3.
Well, mate, coming to the last sector at this time is our race leader and possible race winner, as long as things stay the way they are. It's the McLaren of Medium Pilot, and
the gap's coming down.
Too late.
Yeah,
it's the last lap.
The last lap of the Grand Prix. Now, Medium Pilot, I'll take you through the final part of this race. Trying to remember what we're actually doing here. But Medium Pilot about across the line for his first win, the McLaren's first win in the Perrier Division tonight. And then Lickle in P2. What a good race from the Renault-powered cars. P3 is the champion, his first podium of Season 4. What a good run.
I'm going to keep my eyes on Dobby, you know. Dobby might be thinking about it. Ooh. No, not them.
Alfie weaving heavily. I think that might be a scrutineers because he was weaving quite heavily, so Samu couldn't get close out of the final corner. That might be scrutineers. Reflow.
Dobby gets promoted. James Braden gets promoted as well. Reflow gets put down to 9th. We got a battle though. Glocky and Orchard David. Is Glocky going to go for a move just for the sake of it?
He's going to try to put off David. He isn't able to do it. David has made a mistake though. Is he going to bring him around to the line? Who's going to better traction? It's not going to be Dobby. I think actually he's going to Orchard David is going to still finish ahead.
Dobby wasn't even in that battle, mate. It was Orchard David.
Both about Alfa Romeos, that's the thing. We're just going to cut off all of this because the Mercedes finishing there, but there he is. Medium Pilot, our race winner in the McLaren, the number 98 car, taking his first victory of Season 4 in a very sporadic Grand Prix, to be completely honest, wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately for the Mercedes, the Sam's didn't finish the race.
Did Sam crash himself out, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, that will be a penalty for Sam, for Stam even, because you don't crash yourself out even at the end of the Grand Prix. It is against the rules of SFR.
I think that. Yeah, we've got some interviews though, mate. With these, I don't know how many of these guys speak English, unfortunately, but
we will have a look. We will have a look.
And it is Medium Pilot on pole on top of the podium today. Good job.
And his twin in P2, Lickle. Oh, look, they're triplets tonight. No, we're not. Sorry, I thought they were all the same avatar. But Nikos in P2. We will we'll send a couple of invites into the SFR comms box and bring in two of the top two. I don't think Nikos does speak English. Yeah, Ryan, mate, air your concerns to the stewards, not in the chat. I know your frustrations in that one, and we've seen it on stream.
Who's Ryan?
I believe it's Dobby.
Thanks. Yeah, Dobby. Yeah, man, you just can't do it anyway. Can I run down the finishes?
Just barring any stewards investigations, obviously.
Any steward investigations, medium pilot wins, Lickle second, Nikos third. Those are your top three. Alfie and Samu, what a great race between those guys. Perez, Dobby, James Braden, Reflow, and Yarm wrap up the top 10. Outside the top 10, Glocky, Altered David, Altered Socks, Stam, God Colors, Electro Dan, Raikkonen, and Lee now didn't finish. So we had a good 13 finishes today, mate. Or 14 actually. God Colors, Electro Dan, Raikkonen, and Lee now were your non-finishers. Who was your driver of the day? No.
I want to believe that the driver day would be going to James Braden, but I believe with the weaving he might be under Stewart's inquiry, so I don't think it's fair to give it to him. I think the driver of the day really is going to go to, I think, Alfie for such a good performance.
I was going to give it to Samu.
But Alpha started P16 and finished P4.
I'm going to give it to Samu either way. I think Samu conducted really good racing, and those guys were in a battle, so we chose the other one in that battle, which I suppose is quite funny. But yeah.
All right, we'll just try and get. Well, yes, we can have a look. Next week, obviously, blue. So yes, lots of comments already in chat about it. Lots of drivers unhappy about it, and we obviously had the big moment of Jesse Tony being blacklisted from this race. That will be all handled later on by the stewards and by the race directors, all working in tandem to work out what happened, and hopefully all of the SFR drivers understand that we don't want that to happen.
I have a question, mate. I have a question for you, and you can answer this honestly. We're on stream. Do you have an issue when I question some of your decisions, when you're like, lips to the stewards, or I think this, and I go, well, actually, do you get annoyed at that, or do you think?
Well, no, because the entire point of a commentator is to have a co-coms. Because if I did it on my own, it'd just be the JB show, trying to make everything funny and all that. I get that I make it funny sometimes, but with you being here and questioning that decision, that makes me like have to come up with a reason why that would have gone there. Because if I was on my own, I could have sat down and gone, no, he's going to go to the stewards for this, and then there'd be no further explanation because there's been no one to push me into why.
I think the good thing about having co-coms as well, that is a racer, you can kind of get the idea from a racer's perspective as well, and not just.
Are you calling me not a racer anymore? You saying that I'm so old that I'm.
You got booted from Haas. That's like the word. That's like one of the bad. That's like one of the word. No, there's nothing about it, mate. You got booted from Haas.
I am still a full-time driver in other series.
Doesn't make a difference. You got booted from Haas. You're
not
in F1 anymore,
anyone looking for a Toro Rosso seat in GP3.
You're not in F1 anymore, though, are you? You're not
in F1 anymore. I am in F1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got realistically coming up on Sunday.
Well, what? Say again?
Got a realistic league coming up on Sunday. Where I'm racing in a realistic league. But by the looks of it, off the subject of myself, because, I do love to talk about myself, but normally that's through a mirror, because myself is very pretty. Well, not right now. But I haven't put my makeup on, firstly. But I had to make a comment there. It doesn't look like we're getting joined by any of the podium sitters tonight, which is very disappointing. But still, on the racing monitor, how was that out of 10? It might be because it's so late and the drivers want to get off to bed.
I'm going to give it an 8. It wasn't as strong as last night for me as the overall race. I think some of the disgusting acts of drivers, but overall I think after that it was all good, and I think we got some really solid racing towards the end. But mate, I think we should, because I think we should give them a bit more content. I think we should talk about the turbulent time in SFR coming up in a few weeks and what you'd like to see going forward.
Well, once again, we have to mention that we are going for but we will be slimming down the calendar. So from 21, we'll slim it down to a set number due to the fact that we have the F1 2019 game, coming out in June. Much sooner than any of us imagined. I'm not sure what other leagues are doing. I'm not sure if anyone else is going to continue with the 2018 game. I personally have put it forward that we will not be continuing with the 2018 game. And what we won't do is a mid-season switch, because what we don't want to do is have the game not work and then have a big long gap in the middle of a season. Do you know what I mean? As the game first came out. So we will be slimming down this season and then starting a new one on the new game.
Yep, I think that's the smart thing to do. If we are going for the mixed calendar, what tracks would you like to see on, and which tracks would you like to see off?
I think tracks that I personally want, and obviously the admins can have a look at that. I really want Singapore because I think that produces great racing. I want Silverstone because I'm biased. It's my favourite track, and now I'm an employee of Silverstone. Marshall, that is technically, even though it's volunteer work, it's still classed as an employee of Marshall, employee of Silverstone.
Do you do it for F1? Do you do it for F1?
No, it takes me 3 years to do Formula One, so I will get to Formula One eventually. Probably when I have a beard down between my shoulders.
How many years have you been doing it?
Only 1 year. This is my first full year. But I think Spa also possibly to be on the calendar. I think we want to go for historic races. I'd love to see France on the calendar, and I think Hockenheim, but also a few others.
I hope Spa isn't on there. It's because Eau Rouge is broken.
And Spa confirmed.
Wow. Do you not agree that Eau Rouge is a bit broken?
It's horrendous on this game. I think that's down to the suspension issues. But I think we should end that there, and we can discuss this a little bit further later on.
I love how you didn't ask me the same questions. I love how you didn't ask me the same questions.
Yeah, you can answer which track. Sorry, you want on there? I'm just having to deal with messages. Do excuse me.
So I think obviously we got China this week. I think as follows. I think it'd be about fair to change that. I'd like to see circuits. Personally, I like Hungary quite a bit. I like Brazil, Interlagos. I think is a great circuit. Also, I'll name 3, and I also like Canada as well. Obviously, I like Monaco, but I think there's rumours that Monaco is already out of the picture anyway. So.
Well, also the other rumour is that Abu Dhabi will not be on the calendar, and we'll end in the season. I think we've already confirmed the end of the season will be at Brazil, due to the fact that we all like Brazil as the end of the season. I believe that should be the end of the season anyway. In Formula One.
I was never watching F1 when it was the end of the season, so but yeah, I like it.
But obviously that will be confirmed in the coming weeks. There will be. Come on.
Is that Glock? There you go, that's more than
yes. Nice meme.
Oh, it is Glock.
That will all be confirmed come the end of the next couple of weeks. It won't be long until we have this all confirmed. The drivers, obviously, we apologise for this, but we cannot continue on this game when the new game comes out. Now, if you don't have the new game and you want to continue with us, then we can save you a seat, and we will wait for you to go forwards and wait for you to get the game. But if it comes to a point when it's like 6 months or 6 weeks after the game's been released, or I know money is tight everywhere. I personally am lucky with it coming out around my birthday. With it being money's tight with you, if you can't drive, we can drop you through a reserve role, but your seat will still be in SFR if you can't afford the game straight away.
I'm gonna have to pre-order it using my hard-earned disabled money.
Using your hard-earned B&Q money.
What's that? What are you calling B&Q disabled?
B&Q.
I don't work for B&Q anymore.
Do you not?
I don't work for B&Q anymore.
He never tells me anything. Honestly, where do you work now, man?
I don't work anywhere. I just get disabled. I get benefits.
Unemployed. I won't lie, I'm on benefits too. Okay, so off the subject of how much money we make. Yes, so we will see you next week. I believe it is still going to be China next week, due to the fact that everyone has practice for China, and it's only fair that we do go to a track. And China's normally a track that brings brilliant racing. I'm not going to ask him because it's his favourite track of the game.
Yeah, I'm just biased. I'll be like, yeah, of course it is. But no,
same me with Silverstone, to be fair, but you know.
I think especially because the GP2 drivers are probably been practicing it for about possibly 3 days now. I think it's only fair that we because that's half the week of them gone practicing a track that they won't use. Plus, I think, as you said, China gives good racing either way. So even if it was my favourite track, I think I'd want to see that.
So yes, I'm not going to read that message out because that's not even to do with the league. That's a completely different message. I don't know why I thought about reading that out. But yes, all will be revealed. No, it was to do with the GT Sport League. To do with GT Sport League, so it's not.
No one cares about Gran Turismo, JB.
I care about it, and you're kicked now. But I'm going back on it in a minute. But no, the next start of the stream on Tuesday, I will confirm the calendar, and I'll run through it again on Wednesday and once more on Thursday. If you are here for all three streams, do bear with me. I have to announce to everyone that watches them. So yes, we apologise for some of the driving that has been tonight. The stewards are going to be very busy tonight. Alex, once again for joining us. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and apparently my barrel of alcohol that I've got down here that you're eyeing up until you turn 18.
But you don't drink. I'm already
I still keep
confused.
one with me just in case. Normally it's for champagne. If they run out of champagne on the podium, they want to spray some more. They haven't joined us tonight, so I have to put it away.
So wait, you just chuck it down for the comms box.
Pretty much, yeah. All right. Well, on that note, let's leave it here. So, thank you so much for watching, and apologies once more for some of the driving. I'm going to stay there. Yeah, that sound effect was the next time. You may clip that out if you wish so. We're still live. I can't believe we're still live at this point. We will see you next time. We will see you next time for SpeedForce Racing, and maybe a little bit more sensible comms. Probably not though. I'm involved. So we'll see you next time. My name is JB. Thank you once again, Alex, for joining us.
No worries.
And we'll see you next time, ladies and gentlemen. And ta-ra.